Jenna Jackson.
Darren Jackson.
Jenny Cronin.
Cole Cronin.
Tyler Jackson. Gene Glenn.
Every day in the United States, there are many animals beaten to death, trying to survive without food and water, and even sometimes killed. Some people in the U.S. try to find animals that are being abused to help them. It amazes me how people are cruel to animals because they are lowest of the low. These animals want to feel safe. I believe the whole world needs to have tougher laws to protect these animals. The people in the United States need to stand up and stick to their rights about animal cruelty. If we don't stand for our animals, nothing will happen. What is animal cruelty? Animal cruelty is when someone hurts an animal or does not take the responsibility of feeding or watching their animals. It is against the law to be cruel or harm even your own animals. This can also be called animal cruelty or neglect. This is a serious problem around the world. What should we do about this problem? We have to speak up for our animals if we see if they are being hurt. There are different ways we can help the animals, but these rules can help. Rule 1. Don't touch if you see a person hurting an animal or an animal that has been hurt. Never try to stop it or help an animal that has been hurt. Most situations can be upsetting, but you can be put in a dangerous situation. Rule 2. Get an adult. Try to find someone that can help you, like your dad, mom, trusted friends, or anyone around you, like an adult. Explain to them what you saw, and together find help for the animal. Rule 3. Call for help. If you see an animal being abused, have the adult call 911 because it is an emergency, or if you notice an animal not being cared for like they should have the adult call animal control. Why are people cruel to animals? Sometimes people do not understand what they're doing to animals that could be causing them pain or discomfort. In other cases, people have been abused themselves, can be cruel to animals because that's the only way they know how to treat others. Why should we or I report animal abuse? People who abuse animals are more likely to hurt other people. It is very important to report animal abuse. It will help the animals in the community if we do call in animal abuse. History of animal cruelty. When this all started, it went back to ancient times. Back in the 12th century, fighting dogs was a sport. After the Romans invaded Britain, even though Britain lost the war, the British delighted in training and raising their dogs for fighting other animals, like wild boars and bulls. And eventually this type of sport, according to the people, spread to continents and countries all over the world. Although the dog fighting and etc. was prohibited in 1835, there are still people today that still do this sport. I believe that people need to stop doing the dog fighting because it will make the dogs mean. Even if they don't even know people, they'll attack them. Also, I think it was a bad thing that they started because they never should have started now because people just do it for fun because that will not make the dogs feel bad. When they were having all these fighting groups, it did not fluctuate until the 19th century. In the 19th century, the abuse of farm animals in factory farms. As factory farms became the norm eventually, unfortunately, so did the systematic, prolonged abuse of animals, raised for human consumption. A lot of animals in these facilities are forced to endure physical, psychological abuse for months, if not years on end. They are deprived to perform behaviors inherited of their species, housed in overcrowded facilities, with not have enough food or water or sunlight. They are also given steroids, enhanced growth, and antibiotics to fend off their illnesses from unsanitary conditions. They were eventually processed in a manner inhumane as condition they were forced to exist till that day. Here are some facts that I'm going to share with you about animal cruelty. There is 71% of women that have pets as family pets, and they need to get revenge on them. 32% of women reported that their children had killed or abused their animals. About 68% of women recorded all of the violence that goes on with their animals that they have. 75% in front of children and 68% in front of women. Some of these animals abuse cases are with domestic violence, and that is 13% intentional. The battered women are most of the time was not able to leave their abuse situations because they're worried about their pets and their livestock, because they are being abused too. A lot of abusers threaten to kill, threaten, or harm children's pets to get them to be silent about other actions. When the animals get abused, it is usually because they are suffering from health problems, disappear from home, unexplained injuries, and the permanent disabilities at hands of abusers. For one of the studies people have done, there are 70% of animal cruelty abusers that also had crimes in other areas. The fact of 98% of Americans that have pets consider them a part of their own family. People are at risk when animals are abused. Most of Americans have pets than children. Americans pay less on baby food than they do on pet food. There's less people in the United States than animals. Children today are going to be grown up with pets, with more pets than a father that is living at home. The woman or the primary caregiver is pet-owning households for the pet. Now I'm going to show you a video about animal cruelty.
We were once loved, cared for, and happy. Now we are abandoned. With our hope to fend for ourselves. I loved you. So why did you leave me in a place like this? Such a scary, indifferent place. I want to go home. I want you to pet me like you used to. And say that I was your everything. My time is almost up. I see other dogs that way. Maybe their owners came to get them. Will you come to get me too? I am always waiting for you. Waiting. We were once loved.
There's a lot of information that you probably learned from me today that you didn't know about. I hope that you've enjoyed my information about animal cruelty and maybe pass it on to your friends, and their friends would pass it on to their friends. I hope someday in the future, animal cruelty will be something of the past.